How we doing all on this beautiful Wednesday morning? And a lot of boring news today, mostly merchandising and stuff. There seems to be a licensing expo show that's happening this weekend, and it's really just going to be more, hey, look at all the stuff that we're going to be making for other countries that are unimportant, non-transforming product, like shoe boxes and slippers. Regardless of the fact, what I figured we'd talk about today is something a lot more important in my opinion, especially during these down times, and it's that of the market right now with Transformers and what's going on. And it seems to be an ongoing conversation on my Discord every day, and with specific people in the fandom that talk to me privately about buying and selling. And what I'm noticing that's a big trend right now, and it's to be expected because the same thing happened way back in the recession of '08 and '09, is that of a lot of big important product is now coming to the market again. And the reason for that is because a lot of people who have been buying big ticket items, whether it be Japanese G1 from, let's say, Master Force Victory and Zone and Operation Combination Battle Stars, or rare items like scripts, animation cells, store displays, all that kind of stuff. That usually people buy it for big numbers and it sits in their garage and it doesn't really have a place in their collection or in their display. And now they need money. And a lot of this stuff is now starting to come to the market. And that's like the tier one stuff. That's like the stuff that you can't just Google it and you'll be able to buy it very easily, regardless of how much money you have. It's a lot of this stuff is now coming to the market. And let me tell you, it's coming to the market in large numbers. I have been literally stalking all the different buy sell trade forums and message boards and of course eBay, and a lot of fascinating product for the first time in what feels like almost a decade now is starting to show up. And it's partially because of the desperation of people needing money during these down times, especially in the United States and some European countries. And it's a good time now that if you are in a good financial situation, this is not something that I suggest to people who are kind of like literally living paycheck to paycheck right now in a lot of ways. Obviously, paycheck isn't an issue, but you know what I mean? It's just, if you have a good financial basis, now is a really good time to start buying stuff, because the stuff that's starting to show up right now, some of it is, I don't want to say once in a lifetime, but once in a 10-year kind of situation. A lot of really interesting items at really good prices are starting to show up. I don't want to really name names of stuff, again, let's put it this way. Stuff like Grandis, stuff like, Road Caesar at good prices, or store displays of specific Transformer series, animation cells. A lot of little things are starting to show up every week. There's just a whole bunch of stuff just hitting the market now, and these are things that I check literally all the time to begin with. I have certain keywords on eBay and stuff like that I always check for, and now all this stuff is showing up because those sellers, they had this product, they were sitting on it forever. Maybe they had hopes to have it in display of their collection, and then they're like, you know what, I don't need it anymore, I need the money. And the prices are looking really good. They are looking really good. I mean, I remember BotCon '08 specifically. I'll never forget. I believe that was the Cincinnati one, if I remember correctly. That was the Shattered Glacier. I remember, and I still have photos of this because I took photos of it. People were so desperate to make money because you had, obviously, the recession was in like full swing in '08, and you had so many people that were just so desperate to make money that I was seeing like Grandis for as low as like mint in box complete $400. I was seeing Road Caesar at one point. I regret not picking that one up. I think it was mint in box complete for like $350. Like, there was some really crazy prices, and now we're kind of returning to that, where there's just a lot of people. It's always how it works, is when a lot of product hits the market, all of a sudden the general number starts to decrease. It's almost like I call it like the Amazon effect, which is on Amazon, when a book all of a sudden becomes unavailable, you have that one guy that has it for sale, and because he knows he's that one guy, he could almost write his own number. He could ask as much as he wants. But the second there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people all of a sudden now there's a battle for who wants to be able to make that sale. And if the book was bought for $14 and he's asking $100, but there's 5 or 6 guys, those 5 or 6 guys don't mind taking it to $90, $70, $60, as long as they make a profit. So it's the same thing that's going on here, where it used to be back in the day there was only maybe one Road Caesar on the market. Now all of a sudden 3 or 4 of them are starting to show up in different parts of the buy sell trade areas. And now there's a battle going on for, who could have the better price, because they want to make that sale. They can't sit, it's not one of these situations now where it's like, you know what, I want $1,000 and I'm going to sit on it until I get that $1,000. They can't afford to have that time, because they need to eat, they need to pay bills, they need to put gas in their car, they need, whatever it is that they need their money for. So it's in a price to move kind of situation. And again, if you have money right now is the time to really be looking around to be buying stuff, because it is really a buyer's market right now. A seller's market, I would not suggest it personally, unless of course you need the money. But right now it really is a buyer's market, and there's just a lot of really cool stuff. I know me personally, I'm just looking at some stuff right now and like burning a hole through my my screen, because I'm just staring at some really cool stuff that I can't wait to add to the collection, because I've never seen it on eBay before. And it's, for me, it's more not so much action figure stuff, but the creative stuff of Transformers. I like more of the history and stuff like that too, books and all of that. So there's just a lot of really cool stuff that's hitting the market. And again, I suggest that if you're looking to buy right now, take a look at your wallet, see if you would be able to take, the hit if you want to buy something awesome, and go out there, because you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what you see right now. And it's some really good numbers, really, really good numbers. I mean, oh God, stuff like, even mid-tier item stuff like certain animated toys that for years and years in the past, like I would say 5 or 6 years, they've been holding $40 to $50 values. What do you call it? Like the Samurai Prowl, Blur, certain figures that just were always, like, for some reason, because they were later animated toys, and they came out during that 2009, 2010 end of the recession. They weren't plentiful. And so people were asking sometimes $40, $50 for these deluxes. Now they're starting to go back to a more reasonable numbers again. Now they're going back to like $20, $15. So if you've been looking for those, a lot of those are starting to hit the market in large numbers. A lot of those Reveal the Shield, Hunt for the Decepticon toys. Those are starting to hit the market now in large numbers. Again, 2009, 2010 kind of stuff that just, people had in their collection, and now they're kind of departing with it. So if you're looking to fill certain parts of your collection from that era, especially, a lot of people are starting to unload on that stuff in large numbers. And if you're looking to fill in holes, I'm pretty sure even the mid-tier stuff is cheaper than what it was a couple of months ago. People need money. Again, go on the boards, go on Facebook, and go on eBay. Do some perusing, do some checking, and you're going to see that it's a really good time to buy stuff. And that's the primary reason why I did this segment, was I just want to let people know that the deals are now, because who knows when we're going to get out of this funk right now that we're in. But when we do, that opportunity might not present itself later. It's something where in a moment of bad, there still is good to be had. And there's always something that you could take advantage of. And right now, again, if you're financially stable, now's the time to be buying those items, because later on, either those items will not be available, or they will be available, but they'll be at prices that, unfortunately, I would not even recommend spending, because of just the influx of income that people will all of a sudden have again, and people being aware of it. But yeah, definitely take advantage of these times.